Now, in the previous session, we had covered a lot about how you can get into Metasploitable. So we've seen quite a few different ways to do that. And there were some exploits that we found. Actually, sorry, there were some vulnerabilities that we found that we then exploited using Metasploit. But there was one thing that I told you to look into, which was
Yes, sir.
the manual exploit without using Metasploit.
Yeah, it done, sir.
Done it?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, so let me just boot up my VM and then we continue.
Okay.
And do you have that other machine ready, the second one which I mentioned,
No, sir.
the basic pen testing one?
Now it's not ready, sir, actually.
Okay,
Half downloaded, around 700 MB downloaded.
okay,
More 700 MB it's left.
all right,
Today I will be finishing that.
okay. That's but do keep in mind that you don't fall behind. So try
Yeah,
to
sure.
do that as fast as soon as possible, so that you can
Yeah, sure.
practice. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, sure. So do you need to explain about that vulnerability?
That manual exploit actually, see, you were able to do it successfully, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So now, since okay, that is a topic that I need to cover in class, why don't
Okay.
you walk us through it? Okay. So even then you can see
Yeah, sure.
do that.
Yeah, sure.
So let me just boot this up, and then we can start doing that. Okay. So I have my Linux running. I have the other Metasploitable system running as well. Okay, so what do I do now to exploit that FTP service? Let me just start by doing an nmap scan first. Service version. So we can verify all the ports that are open. After that, we can begin. That's our target IP. Okay, so we have the scan results and we can see that these are all the ports that are currently open. Now we are targeting this port and we're not going to use Metasploit. So, okay, if you've done this, can you tell me how to proceed now?
Sir, can you share your? I can share my screen so that I can demonstrate.
Yes, oh, okay, of course. Just let me stop sharing on my end.
Can I share, sir?
Yes, yes.
Is it visible, sir? Everything?
Yes, yes, I can see your screen.
Yeah, sure. Okay. First, I am scanning for open ports, the Nmap, the use of Nmap. So I can see FTP server running.
Okay,
So this was the VS FTP, whichever vulnerability you are showing in your screen.
the
So
service we
this
are
port,
showing.
yeah, yeah, it is running on 21.
Hmm.
And I also search about what caused this vulnerability, like backdoor, how they implemented, and it
Right.
was not done by actual team. It was done by some other person.
Yeah, it was done by an attacker.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So whoever download those thing, FTP version, they are getting that backdoor only. So I scanned the 21 port is open now.
Hmm.
So now I'll be doing the netcat connection first of all. You can see this is my machine 104.
IP.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you can see 104. This is my
Hmm.
Metasploitable 2
Exploitable. Yes.
and 21
Hmm.
port number and verbose
Right.
uh, option. And now it's asking for me to enter a username and password. Now it's just waiting to enter using. You can just type any username like hello, and the vulnerability to bypass this backdoor is you need to put a colon and this close bracket.
Hmm.
This backdoor is written in such a way that if you give an input like this, it will just give you the root privilege. So I have entered a user.
Hmm.
Next, it's asking for password. You can give any password like HHH. And nothing will be done. So I will come back and I will scan one more time. I'm scanning one more time. There will be one port called 6200.
Right.
TCP port will be open.
Hmm.
Here you can see the port
Yes.
is open. This is the backdoor vulnerability which cost 6200 to be open. And now I can connect it my NC command. Here you can see I specify 6200
Yeah.
and think we are in a system. Yeah, we are root privilege. So let me reboot so that you can see this is my system here.
Hmm.
We enter. I think you can see it's rebooting.
Yes. Okay.
So I
So
have full privilege.
good. So what you did is you looked up the vulnerability and
Yes, sir.
figured out how to exploit it. That's very good.
Yes.
So in
Can I
this
stop?
case,
Yes, sir.
hmm,
Yeah. Just continue.
okay. So in this case, see, you did not use Metasploit,
Yes, sir.
and doing things this way is called manually exploiting vulnerabilities. Okay, we did not take the help of
Hmm.
Metasploit. We exploited it manually.
Yes, sir.
So that is also something you should try to do as much as you can. Okay.
Okay.
So good. You did good in this case. So keep the more you practice, the more you'll become familiar with how to do these kind of things.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Please carry
So
on.
rather than doing everything in Metasploit, exploiting vulnerabilities manually is also a good way because that
Yes.
helps you better understand how it's working. Okay. So
Yeah.
now we've seen all kinds of different ways to hack into Metasploitable, and we are going to move ahead now. So the next machine that we will be working on is called basic pen testing. And okay, I've shared the link in the previous sessions. If, however, you have missed that, I'll share it again. So I've shared the link for that again. If you haven't downloaded this yet, do download it, and it's an OVA file that you will get. So you can simply run that and it'll get your virtual machine up and running. So you don't have to go through the entire installation process. It's not an ISO. So you get that machine set up, and I'm just going to start working on that now.
Sir, you didn't share the screen.
Yeah, actually, see what I'm doing is I'm waiting for that machine to boot up so I can show you that if it's running properly,
Okay,
the kind of screen that you'll
okay,
see. Then I'll shift to my Linux, the attacking system, and then we'll continue with that.
okay, sir.
Okay, so this is the basic PT machine that uh, we will work on, and it's currently booting up. Okay, so this is the screen that you'll see. It's a login screen, and okay, we don't know anything. We don't know a password. We don't know any other user accounts. This is all we know. Okay, so if you reach this screen on your basic PT system, that means it's working fine. And currently, there's nothing for us to do on this system because see, we are trying to simulate the kind of situation where we are attacking a machine remotely. So in that case, you won't directly have access to the system itself. So if you get this up and running, that means the machine is fine. Now I can move on to my other system and try to attack this system.
Okay.
Now, can anyone tell me what the first thing that I'll do with this system is? I have the system running, but in order to try and attack it, what do I need? What information do I need?
IP.
IP, yes, very good. So I need to figure out the IP address. For that, I have two options. Either I can use this tool known as Net Discover, or I can simply use Nmap. Okay. So in this case, let's try using this Net Discover, and let me just do a quick IP, check the interface that I want to use. Okay, this is the interface Ethernet 0. Okay, so for Net Discover, hyphen I for the interface. This is the interface I want to use, and the range that I want it to use is okay. We'll need to run this with sudo. So what I'm doing is I'm running a scan across my network, trying to see what kind of how many IP addresses can I find active. So far, it is showing me four. Okay, the first one, that's not a device, that's just a gateway.
Second one, sir.
Second one is also not a device, and technically it should not even be showing up, but it's showing up because of VirtualBox. So it's just VirtualBox's adapter that is showing up there. I don't know why it's assigned a separate IP when it's not assigned to any machine. The others are devices. Okay, uh, let's see whether it captures any more IP addresses. Now, see, in this case, currently, we don't know which exactly is the IP address for the machine that we're trying to attack.
Okay.
Okay, so in order to do that, we can run a scan, we can get that information. That's not going to be a huge issue. Okay, that's it. I don't think we are going to find anything else. Now, what I can do is I can run a quick nmap scan without specifying any external parameters. 10.0.2 dot 1 2 3 and 246. So let's try scanning all 4 IP addresses, see what kind of results are available to us. Okay, so we've received the scan results for the very quick scan that we wanted to run. Now on 10.0.2.1, you can see that only port 53 is open. Okay, it's not even open, it's saying it's filtered, right? So there's a firewall there. For the other devices, okay, we have 10.0.2.2 and 10.0.2.246. 10 dot this 2.3 that is down, so it's not showing up here. So we have already eliminated one device, and of course this is not going to be the device we are attacking either. Now we are left with two options. We can further narrow it down. Can anyone give me a suggestion on what kind of scan I should run here?
OSCAN.
OS? Yes, very good. Okay, so we run this with sudo. It can take a little while sometimes,
So
although
I think you can give a dash capital T, those things. I think it will be fast.
yeah, but we also wanted to get us precise results in an OS scan, so we should so it's not really advised to force a fast scan in case of this situation.
Now,
Yes,
हो गया क्या sir? Scan. It's taking too long.
yeah, it's taking too long. It should not take this long. Okay,
Some weeks.
let me try doing it individually.
Actually 90% तक गया बाद में फिर 75.
Hmm. That means there was some issue with one of the scan results. Okay, now with this IP, the 10.0.2.246, it finished quite fast.
Mm-hmm.
And it's telling us that it's a Linux machine, it's a general purpose Linux system. And the main part is it figures out that it's a VirtualBox virtual NIC. So this is a virtual machine. And most likely this is our target. But just to confirm, you can also try to do a scan with this IP. And I think this is the one that's taking time.
सर एक्चुअली ये आईपी एड्रेस किस चीज के लिए 2.2?
वो तो हम पता लगाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं किस चीज़ के लिए है।
के सर आई थिंक नेट नेटवर्क का router, if I'm not wrong, this is NAT network.
But NAT network router should be that gateway that we saw earlier,
Mhm.
10.0.2.1, because
Mhm.
that is
Yeah, that is a route.
the
Okay.
yeah. 2.3 is definitely not a device that's up and running currently. It also belongs to a virtual machine, but that virtual machine is not running. That must have captured an old request floating around in the virtual box network, which is kind of an issue that you get with virtual machines
Sir,
sometimes.
or else ये दो virtual machine है ना sir?
Hmm.
Maybe it will be connected to one more network, one more adapter. If I'm not wrong.
Yes, they
पीछे
are
setting में
connected to
check
other
कीजिए.
adapters, but those
Okay.
adapters are on different networks. Like this is one range, 10.0.2. This is one range. The other is an entirely different range. IP address range is what
Okay.
I'm talking about. So, like for example, my this Linux device, attacking device. Okay, let me open
हाँ
up a
हाँ
new
हाँ.
tab and show you what I'm talking about. Like, let's see if I do IP address here. Now, okay, first is loopback interface. Okay, that's going to be always 127.0.0.1. And there are two other interfaces, Ethernet 0 and Ethernet 1. One of them is on this address range, and the other one is on an entirely
Okay,
separate
okay,
range.
okay.
Okay. Now, in all probability, that 2.2 is not the device that we are looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I'll consider that this is the device that is our target. Let's continue with it. We'll let this scan run if it gives us any
Okay.
conclusive results. So, for now, we're moving forward with this IP. So, the very preliminary scan that we get tells us that we have FTP, SSH, and HTTP open. Okay. So, what I can do is I can now run slightly more comprehensive scans. So, I can try to do a service version detection for all ports. And you can see there is a vast difference between the amount of services you could find running in Metasploitable and the kind of thing that you see here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is closer to a more realistic scenario because in any actual target, in any actual device that you'll scan, you'll not find a lot of ports open. Like in Metasploitable, there were 30 open ports. That's actually too much. And it had a lot of services running. Like for FTP itself, there were two services.
Sir,
There was,
is
yes,
there any machine we will come across like filter port?
filtered ports. Okay, I'm not sure whether we'll come across them, but I can discuss a few techniques to get around that as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So even for all ports, we only find that there are three ports open. So there's again FTP, SSH, and HTTP. Now for FTP, whenever you see there's FTP open, you can try to do an anonymous login. Let's try FTP. The command is simply you type FTP, so it will try to connect to an FTP server, and you specify the IP 246. Okay, port number I don't have to specify because it's running on the default port, which is 21. If that were not the case, I would have to specify the port number separately. Okay, so it's connected to that FTP server and it's asking us for a username. So like I mentioned, the first thing you can try in any FTP now server is try to do an anonymous login. So with anonymous as the username and anonymous as the password. But in this case, you're not going to be able to connect using that technique. Okay. What we can do now is we know that FTP is not attackable in this regard. Actually, I think I'll also run a vulnerability scan for this IP. Let's see whether Nmap's vulnerability scanning scripts are able to pick up anything here within these ports.
Sir, can't we do vulnerability scanning manually?
Vulnerability scanning, pardon, like could you come again? Hello.
Oh,
Yeah, what were you asking? Could you come again?
so manually, sir, because we are using only tools now to scan vulnerability.
Manually, okay, so you want to look up like uh, from these results, you want to look up whether you can find any vulnerabilities or not. That's what you're saying, right? You can do that, of course. You may find something, you may not find something. We use tools so that we can do things faster.
Sorry, sir, it's just got disconnected. Can you repeat?
I'm saying that we can use like you can look for vulnerabilities manually. You can see these service versions, look them up online, see whether you find something or not. That's also what you can do, like I told you to do for that FTP thing. So again, you can do that here as well. But we use these tools to speed up the process actually. Now we see that there is okay HTTP and SSH open. FTP is also open in this case, but anonymous login is not possible. So we'll have to look for a different way to get into the system. We don't have anything with FTP. In a lot of systems, however, port 80 will be open. So in a lot of CTFs, just like in a lot of
Sir,
machines. Yes.
sir, how to overcome zero-day vulnerability?
How to overcome?
Yeah, means how we can find first before hackers or hacker will find the vulnerability in that those versions.
Okay, so basically what they try to do is based on the kind of scans they get, you see what kind of services are running. Try interacting with those services. Try sending
Okay,
random
okay,
inputs. Okay, if
okay.
you find a way that you know breaks that service, breaks as in it's unable to understand your input, or if you are able to overload it somehow, then
Okay.
you could go ahead and use that to your advantage.
Okay, sir.
Depending on the kind of behavior that service or that application exhibits, you may be able to find a denial of service vulnerability where you could crash the system. You could find a
Mhm.
remote code execution vulnerability where you could run whatever code you'd like on that system. And there are, of course, others as well, but these are the most commonly found. Stuck at 98.97. And what about our other scan? I don't think this is ever going to finish at this rate. Let's see what happens. We'll just keep this running. Okay, just excuse me for a couple of minutes. I'll come back and hopefully by then the scan would have finished.
Hello. 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 Hello, sir.
Okay, so the results have been received on our end. It could not really find anything worthwhile in SSH or HTTP, but it says that the FTP service, so this installation has been backdoored. Okay, let's see what we find. So Pro FTPD, and let's take a look at the version number. 1.3.3c. Okay, so let's see what we can figure out regarding this. Okay, you can also look this up on exploit.db. So, okay, so this is the one. Okay, now this is code for Metasploit itself. So this is not going to run separately. It's only going to run with Metasploit. If I just download this exploit, it's not going to run like this. Okay, this is just some general information about it. Okay, so we know that one way to exploit this is Metasploit. You can try exploiting this vulnerability. And this can, okay, still running. Okay, let's try going to Metasploit. Let's see if this is actually exploitable. So we can simply search Pro FTP, see what we get. And okay, this is the one that we are looking for. Use 4 because this is the fourth result. Our hosts 10.0.2.246. Let's try running it. Okay, a payload has not been selected in our case. Now with selecting payloads, you need to sometimes try multiple things. CMD Unix. Okay, set payload, right? Let's see if we can get a reverse shell. Options set lhost. So lhost would be my IP. I try running this. Let's see. Okay, so I have now been able to get a root shell on this system. However, that is not how we are going to proceed with this, because I mentioned that we need to try and see things, try and see how to do things without Metasploit. We've exploited FTP using this, but for others, let's try a different approach. Okay. And as of this scan, okay, I don't think it's ever going to finish. I'm just going to abort this for now. Now we know that port 80 is open, right? There's also SSH which is open, but if I try to look for something related to this OpenSSH, the version that's running, I may find something, but I'm not very likely. OpenSSH 7.2 P2. Let's copy this, see if we can find something on exploit DB or exploit database. You can do a username enumeration for this thing. So let's see. Now this is a Python code. Okay, if you look through it, now if you look at an exploit, it's not, you may not necessarily understand everything that's going on, but this gives you an idea of the kind of effort it takes to look for an exploit, to write an exploit. So let's download this, see what we can do with it. 40136.py. Save this. following arguments are required: host. So when you run it, if it is properly written, an exploit is also going to tell you the kind of usage that is required. Now this is just for username enumeration, so it's not really something that will give you access to the system. Host is okay. This is for help. I do this. This is a help message that will appear, and it will give us a complete syntax of what to do. If I just give it the host IP, you must give a user or a list of users. Okay. There are a couple of usernames here in this list. Okay, let's try using it. Sometimes the order can also matter here. Let's try running this with Python 2 instead of Python 3. Okay, so it's saying that there's a user account named user. Now, again, this is not really going to just give us a way to hack into the system. This is just for user enumeration. But what I also wanted to show here was how you can download an exploit from exploitdb and run it on your system.
Yes.
Okay. Now, so for SSH, there's nothing else that we can do currently. So let's focus on the third port that we found open, which is HTTP. And since it's HTTP, we can try visiting it in our browser. 246. Let's see what we get. Okay, so this just looks like the default web page for the server. There is not nowhere else we can go from here. This is just, even if I view source, that's all that's present here. Okay, this is not really telling us anything, We know that there is a web server running, but we don't know what else is present on that server. So what I can do is I can use a tool known as Derb, and it will try to brute force different files and directories on the server. So it will figure out what pages it can find out on the web server. Now again, you can do this manually, but that's going to take a long time. 10.0.2.246. Okay, yeah. So it has its own word lists. If you want to define a separate word list, you can do that as well. So it has already found a directory for us, and it's currently checking files inside of that. Okay, so it has run a scan for us, and it found this directory called secret, and within it there were some other files as well. Let's try accessing this secret. Let's see. It's not opening. Okay. What I need to do is I need to reset my VM here because it's still in the exploited state. So just give me a couple of minutes. I'll do that and I'll restart this process. Okay, so the snapshot seems to be corrupted in this case. So I'm just going to re-import the virtual machine from the OBA file, and then I'll continue. Okay, till then, does anyone have any questions from whatever we've seen so far?
No, sir.
No? Okay.
हेलो,
Yes, hello.
रिस्टार्ट हो गया क्या?
रीस्टार्ट नहीं करना था, रीसेट करना था, बट उसके बाद में उसको री इम्पोर्ट करना पड़ रहा है वीएम को, क्योंकि उसका स्नैपशॉट करप्ट हो गया है। बिकॉज करंट स्टेट में जिसमें वो ओपन हुआ था, इट वाज ऑलरेडी लाइक हैक्ड, सो आई कांट
ओके,
स्टार्ट विद दैट. So it's starting up again, and I think we should be fine now. Okay, so the machine is reconfigured now, and just one small thing we'll have to do again is the net discover part. Okay, now it's just 245 instead of 246. Okay, we can work with that. Let's try 245. Okay, it's opening. Now we want to see that directory named secret, see what it shows us. So the title of the page is My Secret Blog. It's still loading and it's taking a while to load. Now this seems like a blog, but it's not really loading properly. You can see it's not loading properly here. Okay, and it's telling us that the link is okay, the server is not found. Why? Because if you take a look here, it's trying to connect to something known as VTC sec. Not, it's not pointing to its own IP address, it's trying to connect to VTC sec and the secret directory there. So what this means is that the correct domain that is going to be used for this blog is VTC sec. So if I'm just going to be using this IP address, this domain is not going to work properly. Now, does anyone have an idea of how I can fix this? I need to, no? Okay, see, there is a file known as hosts file. Have you heard of this? Hosts file in
kind of,
Windows or Linux? Hmm?
kind of
Kind of, okay.
weird, but I don't know what is the use of that.
Okay, so we'll see what is the use of that. So this host file is present in both Windows and Linux systems. And what it does is, okay, let me just show you. Let me just open up that file and show you what it looks like. And in Linux, you have it in etc hosts. Okay, this is the hosts file, the contents of the hosts file now. And you can see there are a few IP addresses written here, and they have been paired with a few host names. Okay, so what this does is this host file. Are you all familiar with the concept of DNS, domain name system?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So when you browse to a domain, when you type that in your browser, it will check in its cache first if it has the IP corresponding to it. Then it will check the host's file. If the IP is present there and there is an entry for that particular, sorry, if not that IP, if that host is present there, there is an entry present for that host in this host file, then it will use that IP that associated with the host, and it will not have to send a DNS query to the DNS server. So in this case, what is happening is it's looking for VTC sec, but no host. Okay, there's no host online that goes by the name of VTC sec. Okay, so the DNS server is not able to give it any results. So what we can do is we can edit this host file, and I can just use nano, and I can add this particular domain along with the associated IP address. So the IP address is 10.0.2.245, not 6, and the domain name is VTC sec simply. So I'll save this information. Save modified buffer file to write. Okay. Now if I try clicking on this, so VTC sec secret. Now VTC sec has been mapped to the IP address of 10.0.2.245. So now it's opening up properly. And okay, this is some background image. My secret blog is the name of the blog. And it tells us that it's a WordPress site. So this site is built using WordPress. Okay. Now, whenever you come across a website, there are a couple of things you do in the beginning. Okay, whenever you are trying to attack a website, sometimes it happens that the developers leave some important details as comments within the HTML code itself. So you can try to go through this, look at the comments that are present, see if you can find something interesting. In our case, let's see. No, does not look like anything. Not here as well. No. Okay, so the source code does not appear to contain anything that might help us. Then you should also be looking around the website, of course, see what kind of pages exist, what kind of users exist. A WordPress. Okay, this is just going to take us to the WordPress website. Hello world is the only post that's present here. Okay, so there's just one post. If I go back here now, every website has a text file known as robots.txt. See, every website has this kind of, did a Google search, it didn't find the file. Okay, so robots.txt, it actually contains directions for web crawlers, and it tells them what pages you can visit and what you are not allowed to visit. For example, Google has its own bot which crawls the internet and adds web pages to Google's index. So websites can specify what pages are allowed and what are not allowed. So there might be some sensitive pages that should not be allowed access. Okay, so in that case, you can include all that in your robots.txt file. So that is one of the first things you look for whenever you see that whenever you come across a website in this kind of situation. Okay, now if I come back to my results here, let's see if Derb found anything else that could be of interest to us. Okay, it only found a secret directory and everything else is WordPress related. But there's a tool that I mentioned known as WP Scan, which can be useful if you are dealing with a website that is built with WordPress. Okay, so with WP Scan, URL. Okay, the URL that I'll give it is and see what it comes up with. So it gives us some information like headers, okay, XML RPC, WordPress README. I'm not sure whether that is going to be helpful to us. Upload directory has listing enabled, so you can view the upload directory. Okay, that's good. Now, there are a couple other things that we can tell WP Scan to do. And I'll use one such option to figure out the username. Okay, actually, this isn't correct. Okay, I wanted to enumerate users. WP Scan list. No, invalid option. I think we need to specify. Okay, I can just use -e, or I can write this entire thing. Okay, now in this case, it says users identified. So it has identified that there is an admin account, goes by the name of admin itself. Okay, we'll try to look into this in the next session. We'll continue. We'll continue working on this. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So you see, gradually